55 for 6, a long way away. 264 for 6, very near. Polite inquiries, Leeds, day 2. Richard Dixon asks, did Vish manage to find a pizza near Headingley, and was it as tasty as the New Zealand bowlers' opening spells today?
It wasn't in Headingley, it was in Leeds. It was a chain. I'm not going to say who, because we might be able to leverage some advertising off this. So if there are pizza companies, pizza restaurants in the Leeds, Headingley area that want to, I think people want to be part of this, then hit us up. And it wasn't as tasty as New Zealand's opening spell, or rather Trent Bolt's opening spell, which was... I'm not going to use a metaphor because I think it was better than that. I don't think I've had pizza as good as that spell from Trent Bolt. And I say that as someone, when Alex Lees got bowled, I gave Alex Lees a bit of a mouthful, I think. I said maybe he could have done a bit better. And then I watched it and I realised why I probably shouldn't be in this job.
Yeah, Vish basically sat there and said that Lees played a stinking shot, not to mention the fact that he got a ball on a pretty much perfect length that swung in, then swung away really late and hit the top of off.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable, really. I mean, that is a fallible top 3, and there are certain occasions when they are at fault, and I would say the thing about Trent Bolt's spell is that not only would better batters have suffered, but because of that, what did we expect?
Ron asks, are England finally beginning to unlock the enigma wrapped in a riddle that is Jonny Bairstow? Yeah, England have made a point of saying they've stripped it back, haven't they, to basically batter v bowler, who's under pressure. The game at its most simplest, I'm going to try and hit you as far as I can, you're going to try and knock me over. It worked briefly for New Zealand at the start and then worked really well for Bairstow, just like it did at Trent Bridge, and it kind of seems like if you make everything really simple for someone who's incredibly good at one thing, which is hitting bowlers a really long way, hey presto, it works.
Of all the nebulous stuff of like what this England team could do to Test cricket, I feel what it is doing to Jonny Bairstow is giving him a shot at being a bit of a modern great.
Nick asks, should Jonny Bairstow quit white ball cricket and focus on excelling in tests? I asked Jonny Bairstow almost the exact reverse of this question 2 years ago after he scored a sort of quite good but a bit chancy 50 against Ireland in a one-dayer at the Ageas Bowl, and he was down a Zoom line and I still felt the glare when he said no. It was something like this actually. Haludi Foodie asks, I never thought Botham's heir would also be from Somerset.
I mean, that was kind of absurd, wasn't it? And yet at the same time, it's funny how quickly you think, oh, well, wow, this is going well. And then suddenly you're like, he hits Neil Wagner for 6 into the Western Terrace and you're like, no, of course, yeah, why wouldn't he do that? It's absurd that he's, Jamie Overton, we talked about him being this quick bowler, but I suppose one of the things he's done really well at Surrey and at Somerset, but specifically this year, is the batting. You've seen a bit of him bat, and was he doing it like that?
I mean, Gareth Batty a couple of years ago said that he was going to become Surrey's Andre Russell,
yes.
And at the time, didn't seem like that clear a comparison, but now he bowls fast and he whacks sixes. Michael asks, one tour too many for Southey perhaps? Has looked like he's bowling a very hittable length at the no real movement, and hasn't really troubled too many batters.
I mean, he's bowled some good balls. I feel like there have been some decent spells, but you do wonder with this England team though, the way they're playing. Like suddenly, someone like Southey comes into the firing line, whereas before the thing you'd say about England is they were very easy to bowl to. And I suppose the other thing to say is it does feel like we're at the end of this life cycle with this New Zealand team. Watling and Ross Taylor got off the bus, last year. There are a few who the bus analogy is probably not good for talking about people getting on in life. I'm not saying I'd give up my seat for Tim Southey on the bus, far from it, but it does feel like, a lot of these players are probably on their last tour of England. Although you say that, it feels like we play them every other year.
Suvik asks, is the new approach from England to be positive in the batting, whatever happens, sustainable for a long time on turning pitches assisting the bowlers a lot? No, and the whole point is that it's not going to be. We're going to have fun. We're going to watch a team try and do something different. I don't know whether it'll work. It might not be sustainable at all. But if you can't enjoy Test cricket when it's like this, when are you going to? Tom asks, if we pull off another win in this Test, what do you think Jamie Overton is ordering from the kebab shop?
I've had to think about this. I think he's cheesy chips with curry sauce. I think he's also Savoy.
Yeah, Aaron Ramsdale style.
Yeah, yes, yeah. And I think he's getting something else as well. I think he's also getting a burger. He's a big guy. I mean, I would order all that as well, but I think he's got like a foot and a half on me.
We'll see you tomorrow.